Namaste, sweet herons. Welcome to our Monday flow together. So I hope that you're all doing good wherever you are, and whether it's morning or more towards the end of the day, this flow is to just get that body woken up and moving. So whether we're trying to just sort of rinse out our night's sleep and wake up each part, or if we're trying to sort of dismantle a little bit of tension from the day and move into a more released present body. This one is going to be staying quite close to our Ashtanga, so it's going to be relatively energetic, but also nice and simple as it is only a little snack sized. So we won't be lingering quite so long in each section, and we're going to keep it quite nice and mindful and steady. So because it is energetic, do take care of yourselves. If there is anything that you're not sure about, just come down and take rest or come slightly back from your stretch. We're going to get started in standing today. So with your device in front of you, you might be to the front of the mat like this. For now, I'll just face you. Starting just with a little movement into the front of the feet, maybe slightly lifting the heels. And then coming back a little bit, and then just take a little rock forwards and back a couple of times. Maybe you haven't considered your feet yet this morning or today. You're going to be really nice and mindfully spread out in those rooted feet and toes. Maybe closing the eyes if you haven't already. Find a little bit of tallness, buoyancy in the roof of the mouth, the top of the head. And then softness and almost a little bit of heaviness through the shoulders down. Left hand to the upper chest, right hand to the belly. Let's start with breath. Just finding that bit of space in your breath. So that might feel like quite a deep expansion under both hands. Belly softening back towards the spine. And just really enjoy drinking your breath. As we take a few more breaths, just feeling this as sort of an arrival into your inner space. So just considering what it feels like to be in your body today and breathing. Maybe noticing if you've cut that breath short lately. And if you're comfortable too, you can join me for a couple of ohms to use our voice in our practice today too. Otherwise, just keep your breath going. Breathing in through the nose. Releasing an om. Maybe just one more. Nice full breath in through the nose. Nice round sound to om. Exhaling, let's release hands to our sides. Big breath in, rise the arms up. Prayer position. Exhale, bring that prayer position towards your chest. Just landing your thumbs at your chest for one big breath in, maybe starting your Ujjayi breath out, so half closing the throat. Big breath in, let's take the arms open wide again. Find your palms above you. Exhale, let's move the hands through your center to fold. So you might be bending the knees generously here to keep the spine long as we start to drop the head and stretch the legs. Think about lengthening your spine as you take your hands to your shins, pressing your crown forwards and breathing again, maybe a full breath or even two. Refold and start to connect to the ground with the hands stepping back to your plank position, keeping your heels moving back but your crown moving forwards as we bring the shoulders over the wrists. You can land your knees first, or we're going to land your belly. Elbow tips either side of the ribs as we come all the way down. A really mindful vinyasa. Hands under the shoulders to inhale and lift your chest. Doesn't have to be much, we're just feeling a stretch of the belly and the back. Lift your hips, exhale, take a deep breath out as you tuck the toes. Find a nice long spine on your child's pose. Again, maybe even 2 breaths. Next breath in, find your tabletop, stacking hands under the shoulders. Next breath out, let's find down dog, lifting the knees and finding that back strength, that core strength. So more energy in the breath as we come up and back over the heels. Let's take a little bicycle here, pedaling dog. One heel down and then the other. Just notice that stretch across the hamstrings, the calves, maybe also into the hips, side to side, as you wriggle around. So kind of wriggling ourselves free and equal here if we can, taking another deep breath or 2. Inhaling, start to look to the hands, step or jump forwards. Feet under the hips to fold, exhale, nice heavy head. Strong back, maybe a small bend in both knees. So you're kind of squatting to come up, opening the chest. Exhale, prayer position, thumbs towards the heart. One big breath in and out. And repeating, inhale, arms up and open wide. Exhale, pour your breath out through center, palms all the way down to the ground to fold. Stretching the legs, inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, refold, connect, find your chaturanga, maybe a step or a jump here. You can land your knees, or we're taking our belly to the ground, elbow tips either side of the ribs, like a press up but a press down. Untuck the toes, hands under the shoulders, just peeling your chest off the mat to find a little cobra stretch. Lift the hips and come back over, tuck toes, nice long spine. A full breath or even 2. And then breathing in to find tabletop. Strong spread hands, so you're using the knuckles as well as the fingertips. Inhale and then exhale to lift up and back over the heels, down dog. You can take a little wriggle here if you're still kind of working in to any little tight nooks. When you're ready, coming into a little bit of stillness, strong arms, maybe noticing your upper arms trying to wrap outwards, giving you more space in between your shoulder blades. Head is a little bit heavier. Big breath in, we're going to take your right foot off the ground into the air. Stretch back in your tripod. Imagine trying to squeeze the thighs together here to keep the hips trying to face the floor. Next breath in, we're going to bring your right foot between your hands to land. You can take this as a few movements, it doesn't have to be one movement getting there. Turn your left heel down when you're ready, left toes out to the side. We're going to push into your warrior A. So we're pushing down and bringing the hands together to lift the chest and arms. Take a couple of really nice deep breaths, trying not to clamp the arms around the ears. Hips and chest are facing the front of the mat. Another deep breath. And then releasing your left hand down, just start to move into your warrior 2 and feel that change in the hips, more open into your left hand coming back, right hand forwards. If you need to, take a really small circle in the front knee. Remind that knee not to drag inwards. The hip wants to open enough to align. Taking another 2 breaths, keep lifting your crown up and really enjoy those sturdy legs and those rooted feet. Another full breath in to lift the ribs. Full breath out. We're coming down on your right thigh with your right elbow and just sending your left arm up and away from you. And just feel again something to appreciate, maybe this spaciousness all the way down the left side of the body. Maybe that nice juicy hip stretch on the right. Another couple of breaths, again, just strengthen the legs. Use the breath here to help that stretch resonate. Exhale, we're going to lower your left hand inside your right foot as you turn the parallel back foot. Full breath in to start squeezing the hips together and rise your right arm into simple twists. If this is a little bit much, maybe the left knee lands here gently. Feel that juicy glute stretch for one more deep breath, outer right thigh. And exhale, let's frame your front foot. We're coming back to your plank position. This time you can repeat what we did before or take a full vinyasa, elbow tips in, heart forwards and up. Exhale, chin to chest, coming back to down dog. Or coming through child's pose exactly as we did before. Again, some attention into the thigh bones up and back in your down dog. And wrapping out the upper arm slightly to widen out that shoulder space. So big breath in, we're going to take your left foot off the ground into the air. Still imagining squeezing the hips together a little bit here. Next breath in, bring that left foot to step between your hands. It doesn't have to be one movement, but we want to align the knee and ankle at the front. So help that along if you need. Turning your right heel down so the toes point out to the side behind you. I'm going to push down into your front foot, rise the arms, take them together. So hips and chest face the front of the mat. You don't have to bend too far into that front knee if that's not comfortable. Just keep yourself feeling aligned and supported in your own body. Big breath in, big breath out. Last deep breath, belly button facing the front of the mat. And then as we release your right hand slightly down, feel how that alignment changes. Belly button opens to the side, hips open, opening to warrior two. Gaze is still forwards across that left middle fingertip. Good, appreciating those steady feet, even gripping slightly with the toes to bring more energy through that connection. Keep your lifted crown, another 2 breaths. And then inhaling, we're going to lift the ribs, take yourself down, left elbow to left thigh. And then just really enjoy stretching out that right side of the body. So you're creating a line from your back foot to your right fingertips. Keeping the shoulders quite broad here, try not to, again, relax too much into this little slump. Strong legs, full breath. And then our floating arm is going to try and gently move down inside your left foot as you turn a parallel back foot, squeezing the hips together as we rise the left arm. So we should feel this extension outside the left thigh, glutes, strong back knee, and just find a little bit more energy in every part of this pose. So if there's anything that you feel you might be forgetting or letting droop, just put a little bit of breath and focus all the way from your back heel to your crown, shoulder to shoulder. Exhale, let's frame the front foot and we'll take one last vinyasa. Again, we're coming to plank. You can land knees or belly, or you can find that one last up dog, almost keeping the thighs off the ground if you want to. Exhale, chin to chest, moving back to your down dog or through child's pose. Deepest breath yet as you land in that down dog. Taking 2 more, really nice heavy head if you need to remind that, just a small shake side to side, maybe a small nod back and forth. Inhaling, looking to the hands, jump or step forward. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise the arms, strong back. Exhale, prayer position towards the chest. Taking a couple of breaths steadily and feeling the ground with your feet. So almost thinking how the feet experience the texture of the mat. Any energy that comes through the centers of the feet. And then into each corner of the foot. Good, so by bringing our focus into the feet, hopefully leading us into a bit of balancing, we're going to bring our weight into your left foot, empty out that right foot, so we feel that exchange, loads of energy starting to move into that left hip, knee and ankle. As we breathe, we're going to take your hands to interlace around your right shin. Just take a little squeeze, breathing in, breathing out. We're going to keep it really simple today. Take those hands out to your sides, nice low shoulders, and just push that right heel forwards. Inhale, we're going to bring that knee back up to bend, ask it to go a little higher. Exhale, we're just going to bring it forwards. Imagine squeezing the hips together. We're going to take 2 more, big breath in. Big breath out, squeezing hips and lifting the chest. 1 more, inhale. And exhale. Good, breathing, start to step your right foot down and we're going to exchange. So our weight is going to be committed to that right leg. We're going to empty out the left leg and bring the left shin up. So we're just going to take a little squeeze. Then open the arms as we push that left foot forwards. Inhale, bring that knee bend back up. Ask for a little more from that quad and from your lower abdominal strength as you squeeze the hips together, press forwards. Inhale. Exhale to send that out, squeeze the hips, lift the chest. 2 more. 1 more. This time, start to take your left foot all the way behind you, step out really wide and turn both sets of feet towards the left side. Sets of feet. So we're just going to be facing out to the left as we bring the arms up. Exhale, take the hands behind you. Really try to swim your chest forwards, squeeze the shoulders together, interlacing the fingers and opening the chest. And then if this feels restrictive in any way, just loosen back to hands to elbows. We're coming down from elbows or hands as we inhale, lifting, as we exhale, lengthening forwards into Prasarita, Padottanasana C. Lengthen the crown down, keep pulling the hands gently up and away, and if you need to, a small bend in the knees can be good. Then re-stretching so there's energy in the knees, we're not relying on a lock to support us. Last 2 breaths, hanging out, strengthening the legs, finding something to enjoy in that open space in the chest. And then exhaling, starting to let go of the hands. Give your head a small shake. Inhale, we're going to look towards your right foot, move to the front of your mat. Exhale, come back to both feet. Chaturanga, plank position. You can land knees or belly from here, or coming all the way down to the ground. Untucking the toes and just giving your hips a little shake. I'm going to just lift the chest only and feed your left elbow and then your right elbow under each shoulder in Sphinx pose. I want you to breathe to almost imagine trying to stretch the skin on the front body, bringing the shoulders slightly down from the ears. And your chest is sort of like a suspension bridge here under the arms. If this is a bit intense, do just come back down. One hand on top of the other under the third eye. Breathing 1 more Deep breath into the chest. And then exhaling, let's release and meet here. One hand on top of the other, elbow tips wide, and third eye can just rest there. Taking a couple of really nice deep sighing breaths out. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, find your way up and back to your child's pose. Stretching your back and really lengthening those arms forward so we feel that shoulder space, that lumbar space. So we're starting to slow down, we're kind of listening to each part of the body in turn, moving from chest to lumbars. When you're ready, inhale, come to your cat's pose. Tabletop, swing your feet underneath you and back to your tailbone or around to the side, whatever feels good. We'll make our way into the middle of the mat. When you're ready here, we're sending your feet forwards, peeling out the glutes. So we've got nice revealed sit bones to keep us alert in the lower back. Toes are slightly energetic, flex towards the sky. Lower back is really dynamic, sitting up. Shoulders can soften and jaw can soften. Breathing in, let's rise those arms. And breathing out, let's find a draping forwards of the hands. So you can be anywhere, it doesn't have to be too deep. Hands either side of the thighs, either side of the shins. A couple of you might use a belt or take hands to ankles or big toes. And here our breath and our focus is in the hamstrings and the back stretch, which we're keeping as aligned as possible through that little bit of uplift. Taking a couple more breaths. Maybe we're dropping the head a little bit heavier, the jaw is softening that little bit more. When you're ready, inhale, release, and just walk your hands towards you as you sit up really nice and tall. You're going to take the knees up. You might even give your knees a little squeeze if that's necessary, and we're coming down towards semi-supine. So we're going to come down to the back with the knees still up, feet are still flat to the ground. And as you energize the feet at hips distance apart, knees are still pointing up, hands face down either side of your pelvis, we're going to find a really nice, energetic, but quite gentle or simplified half bridge. So we're going to press into the feet, lift the tailbone, and it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be almost a neutral line from your chest to your knees. A little bit higher to stretch the belly a little bit more. A couple of you might have a variation you want to take, maybe interlace fingers along the ground, underneath your lower back. Imagining kind of wrapping your glutes underneath your hip bones as a squeeze to support this rise of the meridian line. Chest moves towards the chin, face softens, and we flood the belly with Ujjayi sound. Last deep breath in. Releasing the hands, exhale, letting your tailbone gently come down to the ground. Inhale, let's pick up the knees. Just give your knees a little squeeze. And then we're going to put a little full stop through the lower back by coming to a supine Baddha Konasana. So knees are going to open slightly. We might reach up and take hold of the ankles here, and then just try to bring your chest, your shoulders and head back to the mat to feel this alignment all the way from the base of the spine to the back of the head. If you feel you could take more, we're going to lift the chest slightly, catch both feet with both hands, and move back by just squeezing the feet together, and see if you can relax again your shoulders, the back of the head to the ground. If this is catching a little lift in the chest by catching the feet, just take those hands back to the ankles. And again, we might be into our Ujjayi sound here as we're really grounding the tailbone. Nice warm breath. Last deep breath, squeezing in. And exhaling, let's release. Good, we're going to take both feet flat to the ground, knees up as you were in semi-supine. Open the arms out wide with your sides, in line with your shoulders. And just let both knees rock over to your left side. And then up and center, knees into the air, feet flat to the ground, and then both knees over to your right. And then feet flat to the ground, knees up, both knees over to your left. And then just move between the two. And stay a little bit more in your own sensation here. So knowing that this is our last pose, we're coming down to earth. This is maybe a way of just wringing out the spine or wringing out the glutes. Maybe also emptying the breath. Last breath. Okay, when you're ready, just stretch your feet out in front of you. Take your hands either side of your hips. And relax the whole body here, chin slightly tucked back to the chest. Relax root of the tongue. Finding that your breath almost rinses out the backs of the eyeballs as we soften the face. Just taking these few moments of quiet and stillness. So starting very gently to really consider being in that space behind your closed eyes, feeling whatever the body feels as we release and relax all effort from the body. Any tingles, any new spaces. And then finding the breath. As we wriggle the fingers and the toes, just gently awake, deepening that breath. Starting gently to bundle up the knees. Give that a squeeze in with your hands. And then roll over to your left, curling up into a ball. And gently finding your way up to cross legs. A wriggle of the hips side to side, shoulders back and down. Let's take a moment to just take the thumbs together in prayer position towards that third eye point, and take a deep, deep breath into that point. Coming from our intentions at the third eye, thumbs to chest. breathing into our center, our present self. Bowing to both. Namaste or Namaste night. I hope you're having or have had a nice Monday and that you're feeling connected, more connected. And I look forward to seeing you soon, here or in class or in person. Much love, everyone.